The immortal John Hancock here, and I'm with my good friend, Mr. Wright Way.
Hey, how you doing? Once again, I'm back on the channel. Welcome, everybody.
And we're going to talk about something that he knows quite a bit about, the PlayStation 3.
Oh, I love the PlayStation, y'all.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? Now is a time to start collecting for the PlayStation 3. And we're here to talk about the many reasons why it is time to start collecting the PlayStation 3 if you haven't, or if you've been on the back burner whether or not to jump into the PlayStation 3. This is the time.
Man, PlayStation 3 is one of my favorite consoles. I remember going to GameStop, standing in line, and I paid that hefty $600 for the PlayStation 3. Y'all, if people complain about how much the PlayStation 5 and how big it was, no. The PlayStation 3 was a beast.
Yep, got mine at Game Crazy. You have Game Crazies over?
No, nope. I went to GameStop. I did a midnight release.
Yeah, Game Crazy, a little bit after launch, they had a 20 gig for $600.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm just like, that's so expensive. But guess what? I still have it. I still have my launch system 20 gig, the 20 gig.
And never overheated?
Nope. Dusty though. It's dusty, but it never yellow light of death. Still works. Controller kind of works.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about it. So go ahead, Steve, and say what do you think it's important in collecting the PlayStation 3 now?
First and foremost, the games are cheap.
Yes.
And when I'm talking about cheap, I'm talking about super inexpensive.
Yes.
One of the best games on the platform, Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh yeah.
Is $5.
Yeah.
Now, you don't get your money out of this game because it's a long, great game. The cinematics, sit down, bring your popcorn because you're going to go for experience. The game is challenging. It still holds up to this day.
Yeah.
A lot of great games on the PlayStation 3. A lot of RPGs. If you love RPGs,
Yes.
PlayStation is a system for you.
Yes. And one thing I like about the PlayStation 3 is like any Sony system, a lot of people maybe not realize every Sony system as launched has been successful.
It has.
Yeah, even if it wasn't super successful, it still has its followers like Vita.
Oh yeah,
like
but it still was still.
Yeah, it's still successful. So
remember, Vita is life. Remember?
Yeah. So I would say that beyond the diversity of games, I would say many of the games, especially had that the coating on PlayStation 3 discs, made them fairly durable.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of scratched PlayStation 3 games, and they work. Now, this is weird. They can be scratched all to get up, but if you check your PlayStation 3 and you look, if you take your PlayStation 3 game and you look at a light and you see pinholes, you might have a chance it may not work. But scratch, it's so weird. I don't get it.
Fairly durable and more durable than the 360. Now that hardware, let's talk about that hardware a bit.
Which hardware to get? Yeah. All right, this is the fun one. Now, either you want to play your PlayStation 2 games or your PlayStation 3 games, or we'll talk about later your PlayStation 1 games. We'll talk about that in a minute. What system? So you got a fat model. The fat model is what you had. You got a 20 gig and a 60 gig and the 80 gig. Now the difference between the 60 and the 20, the 60 and 20 plays everything. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 100%. The 80 gig that came with the MotorStorm bundle, and I think something else, a Metal Gear Solid version.
Software emulation.
Software emulation, yes. And that also is a 40 gig too. Those don't play a lot of the PlayStation 2 games, but they're actually a little bit more durable than the 60 and the 20 gig. Now, my favorite is the slim model. They came into 120 gigs and 320, and they take a beating and keep on playing.
Now, is that the mid-tier one, the semi-slim? Are you talking
the semi-slim with not the slide? That's the ugly one. Yeah, that's the ugly PlayStation. I hate.
A lot of people I've heard talking about
that one. I hate that one because it just looks like a toaster, and you do like this, and like bread pops out. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But the slim model is so great. You tell because it has a matte finish on the top, and this like a small like glossy at the bottom.
And a push button.
And a push button, yes.
Instead of sensor, like the first one, which people hated.
All right. And it's good. That is great. Now let's go back into what we talking about. Well, another reason why I like PlayStation 3 is that each PlayStation 3 can play 100% PlayStation 1 games.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
And you don't need a memory card because the PlayStation 3 will make you a memory card.
Yes, it's a virtual memory card, right?
And it holds up. Yes, it's nice.
Yeah, I think that's a really great option for PlayStation 3 is the huge library of PlayStation 1 games. It's the most under-advertised feature
It
of
is. The
PlayStation
PlayStation
games.
3.
I can't tell you how many times I go to a collector and they're like, well, what do I do? How do I play PlayStation 1 games? And you have a PS3? It's like, yeah. I'm like, you can play your games. They're like, no, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Go ahead and take your PS1 games. I think there's like a few incompatibility games.
It might be like 5 or 6, maybe.
Not a ton.
Not a ton. But a ton that people don't want to pay. Play.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, I think that's the main reason aside from affordability. Like, we all like to save money.
Yeah, we do.
And the PS3 had a huge library of games, and one series of games I recommend checking out is the Greatest Hits line.
Oh.
So PS3 Greatest Hits line is amazing.
And I'm trying to collect all of them, guys. Yeah. I'm crazy. I like Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
And the red cases are pretty dope too also.
Yeah.
Now here's another reason to own a PlayStation 3, because all of you movie buffs who love to collect Blu-rays and DVDs, it plays them perfectly. Now, this is a Region 1 Blu-ray player. Now, I think they play DVDs from every... I don't know about it because I just do Blu-rays now. So, but Blu-rays are cheap. When we go into digital, Blu-rays, like you can get 5 Blu-rays for like $5.
Yeah. And to have a game system double as a movie player, especially Blu-ray, which looks fantastic on a modern-day television set. You know what? I think that's just an extra reason to collect PlayStation 3. I know there's a lot of movies and video games crossover, and so I like myself, I like watching movies just as much as playing games now.
Yeah.
So I think these are the reasons that you need to collect a PlayStation 3 today. What are your reasons of collecting the PlayStation 3? In the comments below, let me know.
And before we go also, this is for the collect. This is a bonus tip. Exclusive games rule on a PlayStation 3. Just go type in PlayStation 3 exclusive games, and you will see what did you miss. I can't believe this came on a PlayStation 3. It's amazing. Check that out.
Yep, and you may want to check out Mr. Wright Way on his channel. He talks a lot about PlayStation 3 and PlayStation in general. And
I
more.
love PlayStation. Guys, come join me on my greatest hits journey. I am going for every greatest hits on the PlayStation 1 through the PlayStation 4. It's going to be a long journey, but it's going to be fun. You'll see games that you didn't know, hidden gems and all of that. And thank you so much, Professor, for inviting me. I mean, the Professor just invited me on the channel, and I love coming out here. I'm just amazed to be in this game room. My brother, thank you so much. I'm happy.
Anytime. And make sure you're collecting
the right way.
This is the Immortal John Hancock and
Mr. Wright Way.
You have a blessed day, and you take care.
See y'all.